Jesus Christ.
One of my favorite fight scenes there from Haywire. Gina Carano in Haywire. 2011, I think that movie. Anyway, so there's this big story about the Mandalorian. And by the way, I don't know if you guys get this, but I'm a little bit of a food boy. So when I hear that name, when I hear that word, the Mandalorian, it sounds like a Girl Scout cookie to me. Oh, is this a Mandalorian? Mm-mm.
You have a mental health problem.
This is problems I have a lot of somethings with.
So this was a big story last week. She plays Cara Dune on Mandalorian. She was an MMA fighter turned actress. She was definitely part of the
muscular class.
You know, kicking people in the face, punching them, scratching them, being a real...
Bad Barbie.
That's too perfect. The cancel culture has flushed her down the...
toilets.
She's kind of a Trumpy, like, anti-mask kind of, she's kind of that type. But, so there's a couple things, but this is, I think, the one that, like, pushed it over the edge. So here's the tweet. Oh, no, this is actually, she shared this on Instagram, I think. I don't know. Look, I don't know how these things work. I'm 80 years old. Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them, simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? So I think we can kind of spot the problems with this one pretty easily. I would say it's a little bit different, like having a 24-hour suspension from Twitter or whatever happens to these people who get canceled nowadays. You know, oh, I lost my Facebook account. That's a little bit different from what was going on in World War II, I would say. Just a little bit. How is that any different from hating someone for their political view? In a lot of ways. Is that a real question? Is that a serious question? I would say that the difference between the way that Trump supporters are treated today in the United States and how Jews were treated in Nazi Germany is probably different, probably a little bit different.
This is something I have a lot of problems with.
This is problems I have a lot of somethings with.
You have a mental health problem.
The muscular class.
Bad Barbie, bad Barbie, bad Barbie. Those are naughty thoughts.
Here's the anti-mask tweet, I guess. Democratic government leaders now recommend we all wear blindfolds along with masks so we can't see what's really going on. She's definitely been on Boomer Facebook and Boomer Twitter a lot. You can tell because these posts on Boomer on those Boomer versions of those platforms, they always are kind of like granulated in that weird way. They look worn out, but unironically. Now recommend we all wear blindfolds along with masks so we can't see what's really going on, which is what they're lying about masks. We just want people to wear masks so people can't see each other's beautiful mouths and they want to kiss each other because we hate that stuff and we want people to never fall in love again and have romance. She's also like a stop the stealer, it seems like, so that might be what's going on in that post too. Again, these boomer memes, they're always hard to decipher. They kind of barely make sense. And blah, 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 talking about voter fraud in this one. We need to clean things up. We need to clean it up because this one was stolen. We don't want the next one stolen. When Marjorie Taylor Greene runs, we don't want that one stolen. And this is, I don't know, this is what makes me kind of conflicted on this. I was reading on her Wikipedia. There's part of this story, people got mad at her because she was kind of making fun of preferred pronouns on Twitter, I guess it is. She was kind of like, or they thought that she was making, I mean, who knows what she was doing, I don't, whatever. But it seemed like she was making fun of preferred pronouns on Twitter. And I read this little thing on her Wikipedia. She later said fellow Mandalorian actor Pedro Pascal helped her understand the meaning behind preferred pronouns. So I read that and I was like, you know what? Like a lot of people who get into this stuff they're not big readers. Let's just put it that way. They're not, how can we say this? Like, we are a pretty dumb country, and being dumb is kind of encouraged in a lot of places. And she was an MMA fighter, and there's a lot of dumbness in certain sports like that. And I mean, honestly, like, you know, she's very successful in her career. She's a successful actress, worked with some of the biggest directors on some of the biggest projects. I think also when you're kind of a careerist, you become kind of, let's just say, not the brightest also. You know what I mean? So all this, you know, you have to wonder, is this malicious or just boop, boop, you know, and, you know, she spent about over a decade getting kicked and punched in the face and scratched in the eyeballs. So who knows? Maybe that has something to do with it too. People are gouging her eyeballs like that. Okay, so blah, blah, on and on. That's the backstory. The really interesting part of this whole story to me, though, is that a recurring character on this program is a guy named Benjamin G. Pepino. And he does a program, what is it called? The Daily Weirdo or something? He does some program where he's always talking about stuff. And now he's saying he's going to produce her next movie. And I didn't know about this. I got an ad for this with Pepino on there talking about it. So here's the ad I got. Now, I don't know, guys, this is a little bit disturbing. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of a king going off, because you're about to see a king really go off on this. And I'll tell you one thing, the aspect ratio on this ad is all up, but still, we'll still watch it. They should fix that. The Daily Wire has the money to do that, but they just, you know, they don't have the motivation, but that's okay. So here we go. Benny Pepino, he says, I'm sick of this crap. And I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore, like Network. He's like the guy in Network about Star Wars. So here we go.
So, according to Hollywood Reporter, Lucasfilm, Disney, they've been looking to dump her for months because she's outspokenly conservative. They found an excuse, and they dumped her. Well, here's the thing. We here at the Daily Wire do not stand for this kind of bullshit. We do not stand...
Whoa! What? No! He can't say that. He can't say that. He can't say that! He can't say that! This is a Christian show. I'm a Christian and I'm Jewish, and I don't like hearing that shit!
Stand for this. And so, yesterday, in the immediate aftermath of the decision by Disney and Lucasfilm to dump Gina, I called Gina, and we talked. And we decided that...
Showing off? He's like, I called Gina. No big deal. Hey, girl. That's what he said. That's you pick up the phone. Ben Shapiro calls you. You know, you're a female martial arts expert. He's like, hey, what up, boo? What up? What, you got canceled? Hey, you got canceled, girl? Okay. You come be in my movies, girl. She's like, why are you talking like that? He's like, oh, it's me, Benny Pepino.
That Daily Wire's next film will be starring and produced by Gina Carano. We could not be more excited to work with Gina.
Join us in the fight. Join us in the fight against cancel culture. Become a member. So all you got to do is donate, and we're going to fight an entire culture. I would like to also say that my Patreon is fighting cancel culture too. We have a whole team dedicated. We go over, we do studies. We form a committee. Like Nancy Pelosi now, we're going to form a committee to look into this. That's what I'm going to do on my Patreon. We'll look into cancel culture. We're going to get to all the bottom of this bullshit. And I want to say one more thing. You try to cancel me, I'll squirm right out of that cancel. I'll be like, no, you said it. You said that you did that. Joke. Like, actually, my manager at my job tried to cancel me. You're canceled. You're canceled from this job. He said it he used a different term. I don't remember what it was, but he basically said, you're canceled from this job. Don't come to the office anymore. Yeah, right. Nice job trying to cancel me because you can't.
You have a mental health problem.
I'm going to keep showing up to that office because I'm not going to give in to cancel culture. You know, he's saying things, you can't keep taking things from the office. These people, they just want to cancel everything you do, Oh, that monitor, that's company property. Okay, so again, and this king is also absolutely going off on his program, which, February 11th, 1.5 million views on this in just 5 days. Okay, here we go.
In order so that they can foster that agenda. So unofficially, they're allowed to use threats in order to make clear what exactly they want to happen. Okay, so what this results in very, very often is corporations looking to cram down a particular viewpoint on you, and then
I'm sick of this viewpoint being crammed on me as a Republican, as a hardcore conservative. I'm sick of this viewpoint being hammered upon me that being a Trump supporter is not the same as being a Jew in Nazi Germany. This is cancel culture at its finest, and I don't gonna take it anymore because I'm just gonna watch Daily Wire programs.
Okay, so what this results in very, very often is corporations looking to cram down a particular viewpoint on you and then cancel you, right? That is what many Americans are feeling today. There are polls out there that show that a vast majority of Americans in every single political group, including liberals, except for people on the hard left, feel like they cannot say what they want to say in public because they're afraid that they are going to be canceled, fired, cast out from polite society.
This is true because I always want to make Holocaust comparisons, especially absurd ones, like ones that make no sense. Like, I'm a Trump supporter. You know, I'm out on my boat. I'm sinking my boat with all my Trump flags. I'm basically persecuted by the Nazis. I'm basically Schindler's List in it through my life right now. You know?
No.
The thing that makes this whole cancel culture thing like so impossible. Like, I just want to post things on my social media, you know? I just want to make what other people say are absurd Holocaust comparisons and all this stuff. The real struggle about this, the thing that's really hard, is that it's impossible to set up accounts that don't have your information on it, that are fake, that have fake names and fake identities. You know, if it were possible to do that, then this whole canceling thing would get a lot easier. But until that happens, okay?
Single day. And I will say it is amusing to watch as some people on the hard left get canceled, and then they turn around and they're like, why aren't people defending me? We are. It's just that you guys created this society. This actually happened to a socialist moron named Nathan Robinson. He got canceled from The Guardian.
A socialist moron.
And he said he got canceled from The Guardian because he had put up some anti-Israel tweets. Okay, now I think he's an idiot. I think that his views on Israel are abhorrent, but I don't.
By the way, Nathan Robinson, a lot of people give him a hard time on Twitter, I see sometimes, because he's got swag. You jealous, okay? Let's see the tweet that he wrote. This is what got him fired from The Guardian. Did you know that the U.S. Congress is not actually permitted to authorize any new spending unless a portion of it is directed toward buying weapons for Israel? It's the law. Or if not actually the written law, then so ingrained in political custom as to functionally be indistinguishable from law. Wow, dude! Jesus Christ! I mean, let's compare the two tweets, because he's like, Gina Carano got fired for tweets, and Nathan, what did he call it? This socialist idiot, Nathan J. Robin, got fired too, because he's basically the same thing, and now he comes crying. But so Gina Carano was saying Trump supporters are basically like the new Jews of Nazi Germany, which is, you know, I would say is not entirely accurate. Nathan J. Robinson is saying like, hey, we give a lot of weapons to Israel. And and Ben Shapiro's like, that's abhorrent. That's sick. Oh, what about her comparing our Trump supporters to Jews in Nazi Germany? Well, this is interesting. Let's examine it. Well, what Professor Carano is really saying is that you have to really understand the nuances and the minutia of all this crap, okay? I mean, Benny Pepperoni is one of the few people, you know, like in the world who I cannot imagine being in his shoes at all. Because what he's doing here is he's saying, I mean, what Nathan J. Robinson is saying here is a totally fair critique, whether or not you even agree with it. It's a rational, fair critique. And Ben Pepino has to call him a socialist idiot while defending a woman who was comparing Trump supporters to Jews in Nazi Germany. I mean, he really does live in a bizarro world. I think what might be going on over there at his channel is...
You have a mental health problem.
You know, let's get... we actually brought a counselor in, Pepino, to check you out.
You have a mental health problem.
No.
You have a mental health problem.
So let me explain something to you. No.
He's really resisting treatment. Oh, damn it. I just figured it out why Benny Pepino's so mad at this guy, Nathan J. Robinson. Because he's got all that swag and Benny Pepino got none. He left none for Benny Pepino. There's just none left for him. Okay, back to America's sweetheart, Benny Pepino Lime Gatorade.
I don't think that he should lose his columnist slot over at The Guardian. He certainly would not defend anybody on the other side who got canceled. In fact, he has repeatedly said cancel culture does not exist. Okay,
No.
It does exist. The fact that there are people out there who want you to lose your job for the sin of saying things they don't agree with is extraordinarily real, and it is happening on a moment-by-moment basis. The latest example of this is Gina Carano. So Gina Carano is one of the stars of The Mandalorian. She plays a character called Cara Dune. And Gina Carano was a former MMA star, and then she was in a movie called Haywire, in which she sort of made her acting debut. She's been in a bunch of stuff since then. And then her biggest role to date was as Cara Dune in The Mandalorian. So she's sort of the ally of The Mandalorian, who's played by Pedro Pascal.
Cara Dune. Laura Dune. Laura Dune cookies. The Mandalorian sounds like a cookie. This is fantastic. He goes into the Holocaust bit now. Here we go.
Could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Okay, that is not her making light of the Holocaust. Okay, like as your official Jewish friend, right? As an Orthodox Jew. So let me explain something to you. No.
As your official Jewish friend, I think Sam Cedar calls him the Pope of the Jews because he's always like, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew, so this is what all Jews think.
The Hollywood Reporter, Carano will not be returning to The Mandalorian or the Star Wars galaxy after sharing a post on social media implying that being a Republican today is like being Jewish during the Holocaust. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm. There are no plans for her to be in the future, a Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a statement. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. I have a question. Like, really, this is a question. Who got denigrated based on cultural and religious identity?
Oh, well, people who are not crazy and who don't like the comparison of Trump supporters are like Jews in the Holocaust. Pretty simple answer on that one.
So let me explain something to you. No. I don't understand.
Well, I just explained it. Okay, so he's all worked up and pissed off about that. So then he got this video. Gina Carano to star in upcoming film for The Daily Wire, which is his company. Oh my God, this is a big announcement. Is this insignificant?
No. I promised a huge announcement. So here is the announcement. And we want you to join us in moving this way. So here's the deal. Disney decided that they were going to drop the actress Gina Carano. They decided they were going to drop her from The Mandalorian because she's conservative. It is that simple. It is not because she did anything that is truly terrible.
It's because she's conservative. It's because she's, she has certain views on fiscal policy. She believes in low taxes. And she got fired for that. And by the way, I love the free market, and the free market is perfect. So I shouldn't care that she got fired because that's the free movement of labor. But blah, 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 blah. But she's a conservative. She's like an anti-masker. Saying that right wingers, Trump supporters are like Jews in the Holocaust, and a bunch of other crap. And she's conservative. You're right. She's conservative. Okay.
Allows us to build X-Wings to take them on. And we need your help. We need your help. This stuff's expensive. We need your help because we want to produce this film with Gina. Also, Bonfire legend, our friend Dallas Saunier is going to be co-producing the film. We're excited about that. He worked with us on Run, Hide, Fight, which is excellent. We need your help. We need your membership. Okay, and so we have, for today and for the next couple of days, a subscription code for you. Subscription code GINA, G-I-N-A, subscription code GINA. You get 25% off.
If you want Japanese snacks, then boy is today's sponsor for you.
Boksu. What the
We have Boksu, which is a monthly Japanese snack box subscription service.
I'm not
we
interested.
Have themes every single month, so the snacks inside are different every time. Dun dun dun.
No.
Discover Japan.
No.
Through snacks.
No.
Yeah.
This box is shipped directly from Japan.
No.
I think this is a booklet of everything that's in this box.
No.
I think so.
So they actually explain all of this stuff. That's really
These are
awesome.
the kind of
I didn't
ads
even
that
know
I
they
get.
did that.
No.
Yeah.
That's unexpectedly cool.
So let me explain
Edamame
something to you.
senbei.
No.
Never seen that
Senbei are
before.
rice crackers. This sounds like
Why don't you take all those Japanese treats and put them in
toilets?
So I would just like to say I would love to see, please, Daily Wire and Ben Pepino, please make your own Star Wars. Just make entirely, like home movies style, make your own Star Wars with Gina Carano as the main. Please, please. And Benny Pepino, please direct these movies. Could you imagine him? He would be the greatest director in the history of cinema. He's like, less emotion, please, more logic, and facts, beep boop bop, boop bop, goodbye. He could play C-3PO. I love this. Pepino would. This is Pepino would that he's starting. And you know what? Go for it. To quote the great Frankie Valli, I'm begging you to please be in these movies. Starring, directing, and everything else. Voiceover, all that. Catering from Pepino. I would be a full-time subscriber to the DW, as I call it. I would big time subscribe to that DW if you did this. I'll even give you the name right now, okay? You could have this. Might I ask for royalties at some point? Sure. We never know what can happen in life, But you can have this name, Star Wires, because of the Daily Wire. Star Wires. Okay? I mean, I was really disappointed by that movie, the first movie they made. What was it called? What did they call that? Help My School's Getting Shot? Stop or My School Will Shoot? This is what I think of everybody who's watching right now.
You have a mental health problem.
And
this is problems I have a lot of somethings with.
Make sure that you're flushing toilets and bye. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon-exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited. One of them is a behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all the secrets and YouTube scams that I'm doing. And the other one, I just reveal my innermost dark, cringe secrets.
And at the top level,
you can even become a producer of the show and get your name handwritten, hand art, hand-drawn at the end of every episode. So if that's something that you are interested in, check it out.
On Patreon.
I'll put a link in the, what is the thing called? In the description, I guess. So thank you so much, even if you don't. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's hard to get through these things, but I appreciate you.
Got comments, questions? Want to make a song out of the drops? Go to /RMBrown on Reddit. /RMBrown on Reddit. This show would be absolute garbage without the producers. Eden Joy, Derek Stoker, Apollo Crow, Liz, Martin Lee, Chelsea G, Derek Jesus Christ Wilson, Matt Rowe, Sebastian Delgadillo, Charlotte Glass, CEO of the Muscular Class, Beth Van Diver,
I'm sorry about that, Beth. You know I love you.
Ray Anthony Cox, Kevin G. Galuski. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Mac. It's Mac. You know it's Mac. You can tell it's him. Krill Will. And we got D-Pad Chad. Burn Dubuel. Jake T. Who's that? What? Oh, it's Carl Hochmuth. Or Hochmuth. I don't know, Carl. Tell me how to say it. Love you! Terza. And don't cancel me for... I'm just reading a name, okay? Tardmaster. Annihilate. And special guest, Stabsterbait. Thank you to these beautiful, gorgeous, muscular, soaked up, showering probably 10 to 11 times a day producers.